Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be looking at my personal NBA power rankings for the week of November 26, 2018. Of course, it has been like 2 weeks since my last power ranking, so I won't have the usual plus and minuses next to the NBA teams' names like I usually do. So that's the reason, if you're wondering. I doubt anyone's wondering. So without further ado, let's get right into it. At number 30, we have a new worst team in the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks. They have the worst record as of now, so that's why they're at number 30. At the 29th spot, we have the Phoenix Suns, and really it's just the Devin Booker show right now in Phoenix. I mean, they need some help ASAP. At 28, we have the New York Knicks, who just can't wait for Kristaps to come back. At the 27th spot, we have the Chicago Bulls, potentially a dangerous team when fully healthy. At the 26th spot, we have the hottest team in the NBA. Yeah, you heard it here. They're making the finals. The Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll talk about them in a second. At the 25th spot, we have the Brooklyn Nets. They could be a really good team, but Caris LeVert, if he wasn't injured, this team could be dangerous. At the 24th spot, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who aren't really showing me much after that Jimmy Butler trade. At the 23rd spot, we have the Washington Wizards. I mean, that team is a reality show in the NBA. At the 22nd spot, we have the Miami Heat. A bunch of depth, but they just need one star. I mean, they have so much defenders, so many good role players. They just need that one star to push them over the edge. And at the 21st spot, we have the San Antonio Spurs, who have drastically cooled off since the start of the season. So let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. They started off the season horribly, which resulted in the firing of head coach Ty Lue. Since Larry Drew has taken over, they have looked a lot better, but they still have been losing games. And now we're in the present, and really everyone has assumed that they were rebuilding. Hell, even a player on the team, J.R. Smith, said that they are rebuilding. And since that comment by J.R., they have been on a tear. They're 2-0 against elite teams in Houston Rockets and the Philadelphia 76ers. Almost all their players have been stepping up on this winning streak, if you can even call it that. But the player who has been the MVP for this team has been Colin Sexton. He's finally getting some much needed playing time with George Hill being out. Sexton's jumper has been surprisingly good, especially from the mid-range. Plus, we know how good he is at finishing in the paint. If you can even call it elite, that's a stretch, but Sexton is a great finisher in the paint. Plus, they have Tristan Thompson, who's been really good this season. He has been the one consistently good player on this team. They have Rodney Hood, Clarkson, just a lot of good young players that, when put in the right situation, I think can be a really, really strong team. But right now, it's just a 2-game winning streak. I don't even know if you can call it that. But one thing that we can confirm after this stretch, we won't call it a winning streak, we'll call it a stretch, is that the Cavs aren't trying to lose on purpose. They're still trying to contend, even if they don't have a great record. Alright, so let's move on to the 20 through 11 spot. At number 20, we have the Orlando Magic, who have been a pretty good team. That's kind of surprising. At the 19th spot, we have another surprising team, Sacramento Kings. Almost beat the Warriors the other night, but the ball got stuck. I mean, if you haven't seen that clip, look it up. The ball got stuck in between the glass and the rim. I haven't seen that one in a while. At number 18, we have the Detroit Pistons. Again, they are in a much need of a wing, with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond killing it this year. They really have no wings to show for it. At the 17th spot, we have the Utah Jazz, who we will talk about later. At the 16th spot, we have the Dallas Mavericks, who have really kind of seemed to get in the groove in the past few games. They beat the Warriors the other night, and of course, they held Utah to 68 points. I don't know how that happens. At the 15th spot, we have the Boston Celtics, who really need Brad Stevens to figure out what to do with all these lineups, and possibly even trade for a big-time name. Not big-time rush, a big-time name possibly Anthony Davis. He has expressed some sort of interest in joining the Celtics, but I'm not sure if New Orleans would really want to trade him away. At the 14th spot, we have the Charlotte Hornets, who I just get impressed. I am surprised that this team has been good. I wasn't expecting them to do something around Kemba, and props to them. I mean, they've been doing great this year. They've been killing it. At the 13th spot, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who really don't pose any threat in the West. At the 12th spot, we have the Indiana Pacers, still my X Factor to come out of the East. Yeah, I still have hope in this team. At the 11th spot, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. Again, my X Factor to come out of the West. I mean, I have so many X Factors, I don't even know. Now, let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Before the season, they were touted as being an underdog to come out of the West. Now, they're the second worst team in the West, record-wise, and they really are struggling. We all knew that offense would be a minor problem, but we didn't know it would be this bad. They were only able to score 68 points on the Dallas Mavericks. If you're telling me that's not a problem, that's a problem. No way to put that in the right sense. That's a problem. But the trait of this team that separated it from all the rest was its defense. And that's why they've been failing this year. We thought they would be a really, really good defensive team. Now, let me just start off by saying this. Rudy Gobert has been consistently good this year. But besides that, there's nobody else. Jay Crowder has been struggling off the gates as he did last year, but this year it kind of feels a little bit different because he's in the right system. Donovan Mitchell has been dealing with a few injuries. Ricky Rubio has been disappointing, and the X factor of this team, Dante Exum, hasn't been much of a factor at all. Now, after clowning on this team for, the past minute or so, you may have trouble believing that this team still has a ton of promise. Without Donovan Mitchell at 100%, this team falls apart. They have no scorer on offense and become lazy on defense in order to get the ball back. So, once Donovan Mitchell recovers, this team will come back to being a threat in the West. Now, let's move on to our top 10. You already know. Let's go. So, at number 10, we have the Los Angeles Lakers, and they have won 7 of their last 8, I believe. At the 9th spot, we have the Houston Rockets, who, before the loss against Cleveland, was doing really good and looking like, or at least showing flashes of the team last year. At the 8th spot, we have the Memphis Grizzlies, 3rd in the West. I mean, what a surprise. This team has been quietly a really, really good team. I mean, they have Marc Gasol, who's having a great year, Mike Conley, who's having a great comeback year, might win Comeback Player of the Year, and Jaren Jackson Jr. has been pretty good as well. So this team has a complete roster. I expect this team to possibly come out of the West, with the Warriors being a very bad team right now. I mean, they probably won't be this bad when the playoffs happen, but right now, Memphis could make a shot at coming out of the West. At the 7th spot, we have the Philadelphia 76ers, who have greatly improved off of Jimmy Butler coming to their team. I mean, he's been great. Joel Embiid has been great. Ben Simmons has been great. Wilson Chandler has been all right. I still wish they would get power forward, but this team has been really fun to watch, and I expect them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals if things continue to, progress the way they are as they get better, as the chemistry develops. I expect them to make the Eastern Conference Finals. At the 6th spot, we have the Denver Nuggets, who have been struggling over the past few games, but listen, you can't deny the talent of this team. What am I talking about? Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, who's a great fit for this team. Jamal Murray, who has had, I guess you could say, an off year, but the two things people forget about: Isaiah Thomas, Michael Porter Jr. Those guys are extremely talented, but we don't know how they will react after their injuries. If Michael Porter Jr., if really any one of them comes back at least to 80% of what they were before they got injured, this team is good. This team is really good. At number 5, we have the Los Angeles Clippers, the deepest team in the, I would say, NBA right now. I mean, they have so many great role players, and the addition to Kawhi Leonard next offseason would be humongous, and this team would pose a threat to the Warriors. At the fourth spot, we have the Portland Trailblazers, who have always been a great regular season team. We'll have to see how they are come playoff time. At the third spot, we have the Golden State Warriors. They've been struggling. We'll talk about them more in a little bit. At the second spot, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, who beat the Golden State Warriors and have looked amazing. Giannis Antetokounmpo proving why he's one of the best players in the NBA. At the first spot, we have the Toronto Raptors, in my opinion, the best team in the league right now. I mean, just so many guys having career years. Pascal Siakam, Serge Ibaka. I actually don't know. I don't really watch the Raptors that much. I just know they're an elite team. So now let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. They have been doing horrible since Steph Curry got injured, with KD and Draymond having that dispute in the locker room and on the bench, and Draymond getting suspended, and really so on and so on, Draymond getting hurt, stuff like that. Now, from the surface, this may seem like they're struggling because they don't have Steph or Draymond, but this span of horribleness has exposed something that could be used against the Warriors: their depth. Now, outside the big five that they have, it's crazy, they have a big five. Who else do they have? Quinn Cook is a nice bench piece. Andre Iguodala is a great six-man. And has Sean Livingston retired yet? I mean, they also have Damian Jones, Kevin Looney, and Jordan Bell. All pretty mediocre players. If a team were to get out and run against this team, this Warriors team would have major problems. We all know about Steph and DeMarcus's injury history, and a team like the Clippers would tire this team out in a 7-game series. Plus, KD isn't as good as we thought he was, and Klay Thompson would be the guy who would have to step up. And I don't know if he's capable of having that high of a usage for a 7-game series. Now, I mean, yes, I'm stretching a little bit. If this team's healthy, they are the best team in the league, with DeMarcus Cousins being unstoppable, KD and Steph really stretching the floor, and even Klay and Draymond being such a valuable piece. But I don't think this team will be healthy. If this were a 2K simulation and you turned off injury, this team would win 99 out of 100 times. But we know about their past. I mean, we know DeMarcus is on thin ice with his Achilles injury, and Steph also falls in the same boat, I guess, even though he doesn't have as severe of an injury. And that lies with KD, and Klay really need to step up on offense. And KD, yes, he would be able to step up, but Klay, I don't know about Klay. People say Klay would be able to lead a team, but I'm not so sure. Klay relies heavily on Steph Curry, and although he's an elite shooter, he can't really create his own shot. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think the Warriors will come out of the West? That's my question of the day. In my opinion, yes. Not with the roster they have, but like currently. But if even Steph comes back healthy, then this team will be able to come out of the West, especially with how the Rockets are looking, the Jazz even. There's no really huge competitors for them. I guess the Clippers are a great matchup against the Warriors because the Clippers have extreme depth, while the Warriors don't have that. But besides that, I mean, the Clippers, as I said before, I don't know if they're elite. I'm still not 100% bought in. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think the Warriors will come out of the West? Of course, if you like all my content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video in particular, please leave a like on this video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you soon.